Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Grow Through It podcast. My name is Julia, and today I'll be talking about how I turned my past traumas into power. I could have used my past as an excuse to play small, and honestly, I did for a while. But at some point, I realized I was giving my power away to the people who hurt me. They wouldn't want to see me succeed and be happy. They would want me to be small. Why would I allow them to get what they want and suffer at the same time? So I made the decision to stop being the victim and rewrite my story. My past became my fuel for my strength. Before we get into this, I want to acknowledge that if you have past trauma or are currently going through trauma, this is not to downplay that or pretend it didn't happen. What you may have gone through and what I went through is very real and very difficult to navigate. But we can't change what happened. All we can do is learn and grow from it and use it to make us better. I also still sometimes find myself in the victim mindset, and I have to make a conscious effort to get out of that. I've been exploring the victim mindset more lately, and I truly believe breaking free from it can be life-changing. Learning how to do this is extremely important because our inner narrative shapes everything, from confidence to relationships to healing. There will be very little or no growth if you stay in the past. Growth happens when you take action and do the work to heal and rewrite your story. So, what does it mean to reframe your past with compassion? Because again, trauma is very real, and you should be very kind to yourself about what you went through, although I know that's not always easy. You are not pretending it didn't happen, and it's also not your identity. Your traumas do not define you. We all have stories about ourselves. I'm not good enough. This always happens to me. I'm too broken. These narratives often come from trauma, conditioning, or painful experiences. But that's all they are, stories. Stories you are telling yourself, and you have the power to recreate those stories. If we accept them as truth, they shape our reality. If we think things always happen to us, they will, or at least they seem like they do. If we think we aren't smart enough for a certain job, we will never have the confidence to even try, and if we do try, we will not be putting in the effort needed because we won't feel good enough for it. Healing does not mean forgetting it happened. It means owning your story differently. Change your thinking from "this ruined me" to "this made me stronger," or "this is why I'm struggling" to "this will help me thrive." You have no control over what happened, but you do have control over how you view it and what you do next. There is also a line between self-awareness and self-pity. Both are valid, and there is a time and place for feeling sorry for yourself, but you can't stay stuck in that. Self-pity will cause you to stay small and feel stuck in the past. Self-awareness will help you grow and learn. I used to tell myself I was weak for staying in a toxic relationship for so long. I told myself no one would ever want me because I had called off my engagement and left a long-term relationship. I told myself I was damaged goods. It was a really dark place to be in, and I felt hopeless and sad. But then people started telling me how strong I was for leaving and how courageous that was. I didn't believe them at the time because it didn't feel courageous to me. It felt terrifying, and it felt like I was hanging onto life by a thread. Once I started healing and going to therapy again and unpacking everything, it took a long time, but I know now how brave that was. So many people stay stuck in a relationship or a job that they are unhappy with because it's very scary to let that go. But leaving a situation like that, especially not knowing how he would react, made me so much stronger. If I can do that, I can do anything. And that's the story I have created for myself now. I tell myself how strong I am, and it proves to me that I really can do anything I want to in this life. Leaving the relationship did not make me weak or unlovable. It made me strong and empowered. Everything I have gone through has not made me weaker. It's actually made me better able to cope with hard things. Have you ever heard the quote, "Don't pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to endure a hard one"? It is absolutely true. You shouldn't want everything to come easy to you. You learn so much more and gain way more strength by working at it. So how do you choose a different story? I honestly believe if I hadn't started reading personal growth books and listening to those types of podcasts and being around positive and growth-oriented people, I would still be in a victim mindset. I would still play small, be angry about what happened, and I would not be living the life I'm living now. Don't get me wrong, I still get angry about what happened. I think that is super normal, but I don't let myself stay angry. Because when I truly think about it, I know that I am stronger now and able to cope with so much more. That was a huge mindset shift for me. Another big mindset shift was realizing how my story could help others. One of the main reasons I started this podcast is because I want to help people get out of situations that they are not happy in. If I didn't go through everything I went through, I wouldn't be as relatable and I wouldn't understand what it's like to be in it. I wouldn't be able to help people as much, and helping people is a huge passion of mine. Support has also been extremely helpful and important for me. Going to therapy and being around positive people has helped so much. I'm able to talk about my traumas and I'm given tools to help cope with them. I know if I was still around the same people I was a few years ago, I would not have the same mindset that I have today. It is crucial to surround yourself with people who uplift you and have that growth mindset. Also, speaking to therapists has helped me understand what happened and know that it was not my fault. Spirituality has also helped me rewrite my story. Reiki and yoga were very helpful for my healing and connecting with myself more. With spiritual practices, I could cut energetic ties with people, connect to a higher power, and trust in the universe and my life. I trust that everything happens for a reason, and although it doesn't always make sense, especially in the moment, I trust in divine timing and trust that everything will work out in the end. Everything happened exactly how it was meant to. I was meant to stay that long because if I hadn't, the most important people in my life wouldn't be in my life now. I probably wouldn't be living here still. I wouldn't be working where I am now, and I would be living a completely different life. I also needed to know what it felt like to be in such a dark place, to know that I would never allow that in my life again. It is your choice to rise and change your story. You have control over your choices and reactions to things. You have control over who you allow in your life, what you decide to do with your life, and how you overcome struggles. Choosing to grow and change your story doesn't mean you don't struggle, it means you refuse to stay powerless. There's also such power in sharing your story. This could be publicly, privately with a therapist or trusted person, or even just to yourself. Publicly, this could look like podcasting, like what I decided to do, sharing on social media, writing a book, or creating a blog. Privately, this could look like journaling, doing voice notes for yourself, or turning it into something creative like a poem, song, or art. Sharing your story can be so healing, and it's also very empowering. You get to choose how you share your story and speak your truth. It can definitely be scary at first, but I felt so empowered once I started to share it. Make sure, though, that you aren't just looking at all the bad things that happened. You aren't pretending it didn't hurt, but moving past that can help you see the power in how you moved through it. Think about and talk about what you learned from the experience, how it changed you, and what you're going to do about it now. I also wanted to share other tools that can help you start rewriting your story. I'm going to take you through some journaling prompts, affirmations, and tell you about some visualization exercises that helped me. Let's start with some journaling prompts. You can get out your journal and pause this episode after each question, or come back to this later. Question number 1. What is a story that I've been telling myself that no longer feels true? Number 2. Where did that story come from, and what evidence do I have that challenges it? Number 3. What is a new story I want to tell about who I am or what I'm capable of? Number 4. How does this new version of my story make me feel in my body? Number 5. What small action can I take today that aligns with my rewritten story? Another great question to ask yourself, especially if you're having trouble thinking of a story you tell yourself, is where in my life have I been using my pain as protection? What would it look like to let that go? Really take time to think about each of those questions and write as much as you can. Think of one story you tell yourself, answer all the questions, then do it again with another story. Because I know we all tell ourselves many things that are not true. Here are some affirmations you can also use. You can listen to this and repeat with me daily. You can write them down and post them somewhere you can see them, or just listen to them once. Whatever you decide, know that you can always come back to them. So you can repeat after me silently in your head or out loud. I am the author of my life. I release the stories that no longer serve me. I choose to see my past as a source of strength, not shame. I am becoming the version of me who knows her worth, trusts her voice, and writes her future with intention. My story is still being written, and I get to decide how it unfolds. If you like affirmations, these ones are great for starting to rewrite your story. I have also done some incredible hypnosis and visualization meditations for my past and future self. I worked with a therapist who knew how to do hypnosis, so I would highly recommend asking your therapist about it. The one I enjoyed the most and found to be extremely helpful was where I met past versions of myself. I used to make fun of who I was, and I was embarrassed of her. But after that hypnosis, I have never said anything bad about my past self. Still working on not saying negative things about my present self, but I learned to truly love who I was and view her with empathy and compassion. In the hypnosis, I spoke to her and gave her a hug. It was so powerful, and it still kind of blows my mind just how much it affected me. I have also done visualizations to view my future self, seeing all that I am capable of accomplishing. That has also been very helpful. You can also find EFT tapping sessions on YouTube for this type of thing. EFT tapping is very powerful and has transformed many lives. It's also very easy to do and quick. Just search up EFT tapping for insert your struggle, like EFT tapping for turning pain into power. There are so many incredible ones you can do for all areas of your life. I want to remind you that healing is not linear, but rewriting your story puts you back in the driver's seat. It gives you control of how you move forward and what you do with that pain. Don't let the pain win. Don't let the person who wanted you to stay small win. Don't choose to continue to suffer. Choose to move forward and create a new path for yourself. I really encourage you to do those journal prompts and try a meditation, hypnosis, or EFT tapping. I honestly believe this will help you so much. If you do try any of it, let me know how it goes for you. You can DM me on Instagram or share on your story and tag me. And remember, this is a continued journey. You won't magically feel better overnight. It takes continued practice to heal and grow. I am constantly learning new ways to take my power back and heal from my past. I still struggle sometimes with it, and like I mentioned at the beginning, still find myself dipping back into the victim mindset. So please know that you are not alone if you find yourself doing this too. It takes time and effort, but it is so worth it. That is it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this podcast, it would mean so much to me if you would rate and review it and share it with someone you think would benefit from it. If you have any questions or want to share your experience, you can find me on Instagram at growthroughit.pod. You can also suggest future topic ideas or ask questions anonymously using the link in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening, and remember that you are worthy. See you next time.